In 1953, the University Museum in Philadelphia and the Danish National Museum sent 2 men to the territory of the Igloolikmut Inuit in the eastern Canadian Arctic. They went there to investigate some puzzling archaeological findings from that area and to document some of the walrus, seal, bear, and whale hunting activities of the people living there now. While returning to the village, the hunters caught sight of a polar bear on a tiny island in the sea ice. Kulout fired and slightly wounded the bear in the rump. He ran into the water and turned to regard his tormentors. The hunters threw pieces of snow at him to get him to move out of the water. The photographer foolishly moved in too close, and the bear reared up out of the water and charged. Kulout kneeled and fired, and remarkably downed the bear on the very spot where seconds before the camera had been. The shot had been placed exactly right, or one bullet would not have stopped him. This undoubtedly saved the photographer's life. It's not pleasant to watch a beautiful animal die, but the hunters needed the meat and the skin, and they were happy about the kill. Kulout cautiously moves closer to ascertain that the bear, in fact, is dead. They sometimes have one more swipe of their massive paws just before they die.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Right there, right there. Oh, there's your back right there. Okay, perfect. Good shot. Fuck, good shot. Good freaking shot. Go, 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 go. Come here, come here, come here, come here. He's dying, he's dying, he's dying.
Look closely. The polar bear's world is melting. Climate change is causing their Arctic hunting grounds to disappear right from under their feet, pushing them to the brink of extinction. At this rate, 2/3 of the wild polar bears could be gone within the next 50 years. We need your help before it's too late for the polar bear. Using the latest science, World Wildlife Fund works to save amazing wildlife like the polar bear. But we can't do it without you. You can help save them and other threatened species and their habitats. Polar bears are losing ground day by day. Please help save them.
Well, one thing that sometimes gets overlooked when you talk about polar bears and polar bear conservation is the human aspect of it. There are people living here in the coastal regions in polar bear country that have been living here for tens of thousands of years, and the polar bear is an integral part of their traditional subsistence lifestyle. Here in the U.S. and throughout many parts of the Arctic, there is a regulated subsistence hunt for polar bears. And it's really a conservation success story in that these harvest levels, these levels of subsistence harvest, have been maintained at a relatively low level that meets the subsistence needs of local communities, but also results in stable, healthy polar bear populations.
Polar bears are at the center of a heated debate underway in the north. The government has restricted the hunt for bears to protect them. But people in northern communities say that's not only putting their traditions at risk, but often their lives, too. Jennifer Hunt reports from Arviat.
The polar bear population in western Hudson Bay, which includes Arviat, is one of 2 scientists say are currently in decline. Surveys show the number of bears declined by 22% between 1987 and 2004. In response, the Nunavut Wildlife Management Board slashed the quotas here down to 8 bears for the entire region, down from 38 the year before. But for the second year in a row, this community is seeing more bears than ever. Wildlife officials work day and night to keep the bears from coming into town. Even so, there have been 2 defense kills already. Scientists say more bears in the communities doesn't necessarily mean there are more bears. The reason could be warm weather is forcing the bears to scavenge for food because they can't hunt on the ice.
You don't have to be an Inuk, an Eskimo, to realize that the population of polar bears is not going down.
Josie Kusugak points out that the total number of polar bears in the Arctic has more than doubled over the past 30 years. He believes the animal rights organizations and the movement to stop climate change are just looking for another cute animal to use as a symbol for their cause.
They're consistently wrong and really have no basis for the numbers that they come out with. And it's hard to fight. Because of the Coca-Cola symbol and the pure whiteness of this beautiful